Hello, and welcome to this short demo of our new feature, Security Insights Federal for Azure. My name is Alex Diggets, and I'm a product manager here at Anitian. Before we jump into the demo, let's answer a couple of quick questions. Why we've done that, who uses it, and so on. Security Insights Federal for Azure is a dashboard that combines all vulnerabilities reports of vuln scanners you have in your system into one dashboard. We're adding more and more over time, but today I'm starting off with showing you OS vulnerabilities. And we also want to make sure you get up-to-date information about vulnerabilities and about how to fix them before your monthly POA&M report is created. If you don't know yet what a POA&M report is, you're probably a little earlier in your FedRAMP journey. Please reach out to us. We have tons of material for you to learn all the intricacies around FedRAMP. So this is definitely a tool for your security and compliance teams, as well as for our SecOps team managing your environment if you use our SecOps services. And it's located as an Azure Sentinel workbook within your Azure environment. So all we need to do is we deploy this workbook into your environment and you're good to go. You can use it, you can pin it to your dashboard, you can do all kinds of things to make use of this feature. And so definitely our main target use cases here are patch planning and scheduling for all your security teams. We have a couple of cool features there for you, and definitely also early visibility of new vulnerabilities to remain within FedRAMP compliance. And I'll show you in a second what that means. But for now, let's actually jump into our demo. So here we see our Security Insights Federal dashboard, which is, as I said, just a Sentinel workbook that we can deploy into your Azure environment. So there's nothing new, no new logins, no new links that you have to save or something. You can just access that right here. And what you see is at the beginning, we have a very straightforward dashboard. We see like last Wednesday was our patch day here, where we've remediated a lot of vulnerabilities, but you definitely see what's going on in your system, how many vulnerabilities do you currently have, and you can, of course, I chose a custom range here because this one demoed very well because we had a big patch day last Wednesday, but we can also just show like the last 3 days, for example, and then of course you'll see a lot less going on with the last 3 days here. You see all the highs, moderates, or lows, or you see all of them combined here. Much more useful, much more interesting for me is this table underneath here, where we've actually done some data enrichment specifically for you to meet FedRAMP requirements. So whenever a vulnerability comes into our system, we give it an original detection date, we evaluate the CVSS score, and from there we actually produce our risk rating and our days left to remediate. And this is really for your security teams to see, be it a high vulnerability, a moderate, or low, which all have different timelines in terms of when you need to fix them. You have an easy view that's automatically sorted by days left to remediate, where you can just see what is the next thing I need to patch, because it might just be that the next thing you need to patch is not the highs and the criticals, because it's a low vulnerability that you just have never gotten around to, which is already approaching the deadline for you to stay compliant within FedRAMP for it to have to be patched. So in this table, there's a couple of things you can see. You can filter by all of them. So you say like, yeah, I only want to see the low vulnerabilities. I can definitely do that. I see which host it comes from, what the vulnerability is, weakness name, and we'll have other dashboards where you can even get more information, which I'll get to in a second. We also have some summary dashboards, which basically just tells you by operating system as well as by host what the vulnerability landscape looks like there. You can also click and filter in here to get more information, because you'll probably have a lot more resources than the two I have in my demo environment here. That's not the only thing you can do here. We also have a deeper dive into the vulnerabilities. So here, for example, you can look at exactly one vulnerability. You can see what the score is, which host it is in, what the preferred solution is for this CVSS score, so what the impact is. You can take a lot of a deeper dive into the specific vulnerabilities. And then on the third page here, we have what we call a POA&M Lite, which again is not our monthly report, but it basically just shows you exactly what's going on. It shows you where it came from, where it is. It gives you a nice little view This, at some point before we release this will actually be rendered correctly and not just with the HTML tags here, but you see the full weakness description, impact, remediation plan, everything you need to know for your team to patch those security updates successfully. And that's really it. There's a ton more to come. We'll integrate more scanners, we'll integrate more dashboards as it is required, and also as we get feedback from you in terms of how we want to, what you want to see next in this dashboard. So I already mentioned it a little bit, but we definitely want to add additional log sources. Container scanning, web app, database scanning are high on our list there. We want you to be able to export those current vulnerabilities in a POA&M format, so that you basically can download an Excel spreadsheet and then already make changes, make updates to those vulnerabilities, like for a planned patch date, or if it's even already resolved, that you can then easily take on into your new POA&M document before we have even created updates of those vulnerabilities. So it's really a good feature for both of us, for our SecOps team working together with your security teams, that we make sure our environment stays stable, stays patched, and is up to compliance. And then a little bit later down the road, we're also integrating it with our POA&M automation feature, so that it's all in your hand. You can trigger a POA&M automation whenever you want to. That will probably be early next year, timeline-wise. If you're interested in this feature, please contact your Anitian account manager. We just need a quick approval from you, and then a schedule of when we can actually deploy this feature in your environment. And I've bolded it here. It is a free feature, so all of our current customers will be able to use this dashboard for free. I hope you found a ton of value in there. If you do or if you don't, we're always open for any questions, any feedback that you have. We always strive to improve our products, and you are a key part to help us get there for our joint success. So feel free to reach out to us anytime if you have any questions, if you have any improvements, any requests for an additional view. We're always happy to provide those to you. And since this is a rather lightweight feature, there's not a ton of development cycle that goes around providing those updates, so we can actually achieve a pretty quick turnaround if there's something that you would like on the enrichment side, on the new dashboard side, additional queries. We can actually accomplish those in a very short turnaround time. So we definitely hope that we have a good feedback channel there, and that you'll see those improvements very quickly. Thank you so much for your attention. That was it for me, and I hope you have a great day.